Taoiseach, we should long ago have recognised the Palestinian state. And we mightn't be in this horrific situation had the world acted sooner on the crimes of Israel against the Palestinian people. But let's be clear, in the face of a genocidal assault and a massacre that's taken place in Gaza, state recognition belated is not going to stop the horror. It's welcome, but it's not going to stop the horror. And the question that the students in Trinity are asking, I handed letters to the Taoiseach yesterday from medical workers, from Mothers Against Genocide, the Palestinians are asking is for sanctions to prevent the commission of further massacres and genocide by the apartheid state of Israel. And the other question I would ask you is, what Palestinian state are we recognising? And shouldn't it accompany the de-recognition of the apartheid state of Israel, which is built on the ethnic cleansing and apartheid system inflicted on the people of Palestine?
First of all, what is happening in Rafah, what's happening in Gaza, is absolutely shocking and unacceptable, and in our view represents a very clear violation of international humanitarian law. And we've made that very clear. Ireland has made submissions to the International Criminal Court, one of the few countries to make a strong oral presentation at it. We had made a written submission long before this war started. And we have been very strongly supportive of the agencies, the UN agencies and UNRWA in particular. And I think our intervention recently, in terms of the Israeli allegations against UNRWA, were particularly effective and impactful in respect of turning the tide back towards UNRWA in terms of countries who had suspended, removing their suspension away and going back to provide aid to UNRWA. And Ireland's advocacy has been well appreciated in that regard. And in terms of recognition, I have to say, Deputy, you're wrong there. The date did not come from my office and did not come from our understanding. The RT's EU correspondent approached the GIS and both the Taoiseach's partner of mine and said in Slovenian circles, be it media or whatever, had picked up that date. And so that's, from my understanding, the origin of the story, which, you know, that RT correspondent is particularly resourceful in terms of his context and so on, but that was actually the specific request to us. And but what I'm saying to you is, our view is the coordination does matter. I disagree with Deputy Boyd Barrett. I think if a number of countries doing it together is far more impactful. We never said it's just one strand. But it's interesting that you would have argued trenchantly for a long time for this, and then once there's a prospect of it happening, you kind of sort of dismiss it and say, well, it's not really that significant. Can we move on now? I think your assertions, Deputy Boyd Barrett, in terms of your solution, I think fails to understand, I think, the complexity of the situation, the Arab population within Israel itself, for example. And I think,
exactly,
you know, we have to work.
That's why the two-state solution will never work.
In the real world.
That's why the two-state solution will never work.
I respectfully suggest that, you know,
because of the Arab population.
You keep shifting the goalposts.